Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for another video here. Just want to thank everyone so much for all the comments, all the likes, all the subscribes. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different here. We're not going to be talking about a Shimano rod. We're not going to be talking about G-Loomis. We're not going to talk about Dobyns. We're not going to talk about, Daiwa and the other rods and reels I'm talking about. I usually talk about. This one's going to be a little unique here. This is a favorite rod. This is the Big Sexy from Favorite. Now Favorite is kind of new to the industry. They've been in the industry for only a couple years now, and this rod actually in particular has been out for quite some time, and they've been releasing obviously different models over the last couple of years, including the LFG version like 2 years ago as well. So this particular model is a 7.6, and it's a 7.6 heavy. I can get to zoom. So it's 5/16 to 1 ounce and a quarter, and I got it for a really good deal from a friend of mine, and I just couldn't pass it up. I needed another frog rod, and I needed something that had that could bomb out 1/2 and 3/4 ounce frogs, and at the same time was in my budget, and I really didn't want to spend a couple $100 on a frog rod. So I saw the rod and I had to pick it up, as I've always wanted a Big Sexy rod, and here's why. Let me show you. I believe this area, this handle, is kind of one of the most coolish looking handles, if coolish is even a word, that I've ever seen. Pretty thick, but at the same time it's not heavy, which is nice, because this is, it feels like, this is just part of the blank, kind of goes down. So beautiful handle, and I've always wanted one, so I picked it up for $60, and it was pretty much brand new, and the cork on it is great. That's one area that I want to talk about really quickly, is I thought this was going to be a really cheap cork. It's a $200 rod, obviously, so it's kind of it's kind of like a budget to kind of entry level, high end, I wouldn't say high end, but getting up there to that, higher end. And so this is one of Favorite's higher end rods. They have other lines. They have the Absolute. They have the Sick Stick, and the Whitebird and all that kind of stuff. But this rod actually comes in at $200, and I think it's the right price. You get a lot of quality parts. You get the Fuji reel seat. You get the nice cork here, and the cork is actually very similar to a Dobyns cork. So for you Dobyns guys, it feels the same to me. Don't know if it's the actual same cork, but it feels identical. The handle, like I said, I talked about already, and then that, and so on and so forth. So some other cool parts about it too, which kind of give it the name, the Big Sexy, is obviously the finish. You got the red here. You have a green finish, actually. It's kind of like a holographic green, if you can see it, like a Charmeleon color going all the way up, and it's got some wrappings in here too, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the features that the Big Sexy has. It has, I guess, the blank is Korean manufactured, and it features a couple, I guess, new pieces of technology called MLS, which is the multi-layer structure, which has the multi-layers in the actual blank itself. And then it also has something called the FX Grid, which is the carbon, tape here, which you can definitely see throughout the rest of the rod. So I guess if you want to compare it to the some of the Daiwa and Shimano rods that they have, I guess it's kind of mimicking that to eliminate any kind of blank twist. So that's kind of the feature that it has. I think it does a good job. I've only had this rod for a couple of weeks now, I think 2 weeks, and I've been putting it to the test as much as I can, because we're running low on time with frogging season. So I've been frogging like no other with this rod, and it's been doing a phenomenal job. The thing I like about it the most, and you're probably going to ask me, why am I frogging with a 7.6? Let me show you. The handle here is about 1.5 feet, maybe even, yeah, about 1.5 feet. So I think it makes a perfect frogging rod, because you're able to get that long cast that you can with the 7.6. At the same time, you don't have to worry about your tip always in the water, because this is about 1.5 feet already. So your rod, from the handle down, is probably only about 6 feet, So that's kind of nice because that way your tip's not always slipping in the water when you're twitching a frog back or any kind of topwater baits. This is going to be my go-to frog rod, and for various reasons. It casts great. It's a 7.6. It's a very lightweight rod actually, and it definitely looks nice. So, and that's the reason why I got it, because I really didn't want to get a super expensive rod for, you know, frogging. Sensitivity is obviously not a key when you're talking about a frogging rod. So, you know, sensitivity wise, I could care less if this thing was sensitive. Is this thing sensitive? I think it kind of fits in the $200 range. I'm not going to say it's more sensitive than some of its competitors like the Avid X, you know, the Zodius, things like that. I really can't say that it's more sensitive because, you know, once you get to that $200 range, you know, I'd say 150 to 200, you're kind of in that ballpark of, you know, semi-sensitive. And then once you get over the $200 hump, that's when you start to see the big difference, like the X Prides and the Dobyns Champions and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, but this rod is definitely priced at $200, and for a good reason. You get a lot of the good features. You get some decent sensitivity in it. But, you know, like I said, I've been using it for frogs, so sensitivity is pretty much out the window for me because it doesn't really matter. One of the nice things about it too is that I guess it has, you know, some alkanite guides, which is definitely nice. I don't know exactly, you know, how durable these are, but, you know, they're basic Fuji alkanite guides, so premium guides, just like how you find on, you know, a lot of the other $200 rods out there. So is it worth a buy? I definitely think it is, you know, for $200. However, the only downside to it is obviously, I think, is the warranty program. You know, I think for $200 you can definitely find some other rods out there that do a good job, like the Avid X, which is like $220, something like that, but you can catch those on sale. If this rod came in at you know, 150 to 180, I definitely think it would definitely be a good sell. But again, the nice thing about it is that you're getting some of the qualities and features that you would get in higher end rods. You know, like the premium cork here, basically like the Carbon X wrapping all the way down the rod. So, but yeah, I mean, this 7.6 rod, I love it. It does a good job for what I need it for, frogging. I do plan to pick up the LFG version of this. And keep in mind too, favorites, all those YouTubers are not fishing favorite rods anymore. So the LFG rod is pretty much outdated. You know, obviously they don't really manufacture those rods anymore because of the whole separation from the YouTubers. But I still want to pick one up too because I'm kind of curious to see, you know, how the sensitivity really is in like a 7.3, 7.2 medium heavy. So definitely going to be looking for one just to kind of put it to the test. Does it kind of fall in the lineup of $200? The frog rod for me, yes, $60 definitely is my definitely was a great value. And that's my phone going off. And definitely think that the rod was definitely worth it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I just have it paired up with a, you know, the Lewis Peaceful 7 to 1 gate ratio. And again, this is my frogging rod, so I don't need any kind of, you know, glorious, you know, setup for throwing this, you know, top water. It's pretty much a workhorse, and I think the rod gets it done. So if you guys are looking for a nice topwater rod where you don't want to break the bank and you want to get some good premium, you know, technology and also a sexy look on the handle and the cork, check out the Favorite. It's definitely, you know, check out the Favorite Big Sexy. It's definitely a great rod, and you know, it's definitely in the ballpark, and I think it's priced right. Again, like I said, 150 to 180 would be even better, but I think the 200 justifies itself. And you could definitely find these used for a lot cheaper. So if you find one for you know, a pretty good price, definitely pick it up. I would definitely recommend it. Great rod. Again, it's not to compare it to your higher end rods, but you know, depending upon your applications and depending upon how serious you are in fishing, it definitely is a great rod, and it's very lightweight for such a big rod. So thank you guys so much for, you know, watching the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. If you guys want something else reviewed, please let me know too as well. Stay tuned. I will also be dropping a giveaway video actually right after this video, so make sure when you watch this, you catch my next video, as I'm going to be giving you some cool lures here. And so again, thank you guys so much. Go ahead and click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next giveaway.